hear Courtney in the background. Mom life, had a film, and she's up and playing with toys. So yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So today is more of a serious talk with me, you know. I like to do my smoke with me's in the car, but I just felt like this was more of like a sit down topic where we talk and we focus and it's just us. But anyways, so as you can see by the title, this is going to be a mental health update. I told you guys in the last video that I had posted that I had to update you guys on a lot. As you can see, this is one of them. Well, not one of them. This is what I had to update you on. And if you're new to this channel because of the title, then welcome, and I hope that I can give you I hope that I can give you some of my advice that has been helping me deal with a lot of things. Oh my God. Just get straight into it. So for me, I've never ever dealt with anxiety. I've never dealt with depression. I've never dealt with anything to that seriousness, you know. But as of October, it was the first 2 weeks of October that it just came out of nowhere, and I've been learning how to deal with it. I've been learning about it. I've been doing so much research on just everything in life, and just the way I move now is just very, very different. But I guess it was a blessing in disguise. I don't know, because that was just a scary ass situation, and I can't say that I'm fully, you know, healed from it, because it's just one of those things where you don't even know how it got here, and you don't even know if it's gone for good. Anyways, I decided to make a video because, one, I wanted to update you guys on my YouTube channel about it. If you had me on Instagram, then you know everything that I was going through when I was going through it. And if you don't, then you're probably like, what the fuck? I don't really have the exact dates, but I know it was the first 2 weeks of October. And it started with one night I did my regular routine. I went outside, I smoked, and then I came back upstairs. I went to sleep around 12, and then by 1 o'clock I got like woken up, just my body waking me up, and I like had the shakes, and my legs were just shaking uncontrollably, like just so aggressive, and I couldn't control it. So at first I thought I was just like bugging. I'm just like, okay, like what is this? I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I go to the bathroom, I throw water on my face just to make sure that I'm like awake, because I had just knocked out. So I throw water on my face, and I'm just still shaking, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But the craziest thing was like, it literally was only my waist down shaking. Like I had no fear in my heart. Like maybe if like my heart was racing and I was feeling nervous, like that would make sense for my body to be shaking. But it was just shaking uncontrollably by itself with no emotions. So I was just like, okay, this is weird. So I started to take a shower. I was just like, let me just take a shower. Warm water might help or whatever. I didn't want to wake anybody up because I didn't feel scared, you know. Like, I don't know, it was just one of those feelings where it's like I didn't know what was happening, but I also wasn't scared of it. So I didn't feel like waking anybody up. So I took a shower. It calmed down a little bit. The shaking was still there, but it calmed down. And then I tried to lay in bed, and I just still kept shaking, and I'm just like, all right, like, and it was shaking like I was cold, like, but except it wasn't my teeth. It was literally just the lower half of my body. So I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna wake Chris up. Also because like I felt like if I woke Chris up, I would feel a little safe. So I woke Chris up, and I was just like, babe, I'm not trying to alarm you, but I can't figure out why I'm shaking. And he was just like, oh, you know, just relax, breathe, which I have been. I was breathing, you know. I learned that through labor, like breathing helps everything. And ever since I've learned that, I always make sure that whenever I'm going through anything, I just breathe. And it does work. So he told me to calm down, and he was just like being there, being very supportive. And I just really was just confused. Like while I'm shaking, I'm just talking to him like, I don't know why this is happening, whatever. Something kept telling me, take your CBD oil, take your CBD oil. But because I know that CBD is in weed, and I had just smoked before I fell asleep, I didn't feel like it would work, but something kept telling me, take CBD, take CBD. So I took like 2 drops of my CBD, and then I just started to breathe, and my body actually started to relax. My shaking went away. Like I was just, it was good. And then I finally was able to like fall back to sleep. whatever. Woke up feeling like a brand new bitch. So I woke up and everything was fine. Of course I was a little traumatized with like smoking, because I was just like, what if smoking triggered it? Like, that's weird. But whatever, I went back to my normal schedule. That situation happened on like a Sunday, Monday night. So I smoked throughout the week, every day, my normal routine, like 2 blunts a day or 2 blunts before bed. I can't really remember. I went back to my regular routine, but I know for sure I smoked 2 blunts before bed. I was definitely still doing that every night. I was going to bed and I was waking up and everything was fine. So I was just like, yo, what the fuck was that? Then I'm thinking like, maybe I got too high, but I only smoked 2 blunts before bed, and I do that all the time. So I don't know why it would be me being too high, but I'm like, I guess, you know, you guys just got to tell yourself some things to like feel better about it. So then it's Thursday night and Chris happened to be off that Friday, so that was like now my Friday night. So I was able to smoke like instantly as soon as he came home from work. So I smoked just my regular 2 blunts. This was around like 6 p.m. and whatever, I went to sleep around 12. Again, the same time, but this time I didn't even smoke before bed. The 2 blunts that I had around like 6 o'clock, they were still like in my system, and like I just still felt good. So I was just like, I'm not gonna go smoke before bed, I don't need to. So then I go to sleep, and then I wake up again around like 1 o'clock, shaking again, but this time I have like a fear, like a panic, like in my chest. Like it just feels like this heavy panic. And I'm just like, oh no, not again. So then I get up and I'm just like, let me do my shower, let me take some CBD, like do the routine that I did last week. And I was just so confused because this time I actually didn't smoke before bed. So I was just like, fuck, like now I'm panicking because it's not even that I did the same things before bed like the first time. Now I didn't even do anything and this is just happening. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go take a shower, take my CBD, and nothing is working. Like my shaking calms down because I can breathe, you know, I'm breathing and I'm calming my body down naturally. So my shaking went down, but this panic and this fear in my heart, like it was just so strong, and I just couldn't even sleep. Like nothing was working. So then that's like multiplied in my mind, and literally that night I was only able to sleep in like 2-hour intervals. Like I went to sleep like at 2, then woke up at 4, went to sleep at 4, woke up at 7, and I was just like in and out of sleep, and I was just like waking up and just not being able to relax, and it was just such a scary feeling. So then Chris happened to be off, luckily, but then he was sick, so it wasn't like he was like fully here. So I was just telling him how I feel and telling him how my night was, and he was just really confused about it. So because I was worried, I was like, you know what, like let me try to make an appointment for my doctor's appointment. Like let me just make an appointment, a physical. Like I don't know, I just felt like I needed to talk to somebody at this point because I had so many questions that I know Chris can't answer, you know. I call, I make an appointment. The next soonest appointment is Monday. So I'm like, all right, like Monday's my appointment, cool. But this whole time, like even in the morning, I still feel that panic, that heaviness in my chest. Like I don't know how to explain how it feels, but it's kind of just like the world is on mute. I don't know, but it's, I don't know, I don't know. It's a really scary feeling. I don't know how to describe it. You know nothing's wrong, but it feels like everything is wrong at the same time. Whatever. So I started to think that, okay, maybe this is anxiety, maybe this is panic attack. So I started to Google certain vitamins that might help me until my doctor's appointment. So one of the vitamins that I have researched was B12. This is a very important vitamin that we do need in our lives, whether you're going through anxiety, panic, depression, anything. Like this you need. Even if you're fine, you need B12. I asked Chris to go to CVS and get me B12. So he got B12. He took some too because he was actually told by his sister to take B12 and by some of his friends, and he just never did. So the fact that I told him to get them, he just took them with me anyways. So I took that and I started to feel a little bit, a little bit more calm, but that heaviness was still in my chest. And honestly, like it was just a feeling that like whenever I tried to get out of bed, it was just like a force calling me to go back into bed. Like I just wanted to be in bed. That was where I felt safe. I didn't feel safe sitting up on the couch. I didn't feel safe being outside my room. I just didn't feel safe. Why? I don't know. Went to the living room and I tried to make me food, but I just had no appetite. Like kind of like that that feeling in your stomach. Like, I know it's gonna sound corny, but like when you have a broken heart and you can't eat, it felt like that. I felt really heartbroken and sad and scared, and I just couldn't eat. I had no appetite. So I tried to make something. I couldn't even open my mouth to even put it. I was just like, gag. So at this point now, I didn't even eat, and I felt really bad because Chris was watching Courtney, and I mean, I know that's what having two parents is for, and I know that's what his job is as a dad, but it just really made me so sad to like not be able to be with them. Like, I just didn't want to. I wanted to be in my bed. I felt the most safe there. So I'm in the room literally all day. Me and Chris are like texting, you know, he's checking up on me, he's bringing Courtney and stuff, but I just wanted to be in bed. That whole Friday night, me trying to go to sleep, again, I was only sleeping in 2-hour intervals. So at this point now, by Saturday, I'm feeling like completely dead. Like, I'm not getting good sleep. I'm not understanding what's going on. And when I woke up, I just had to keep throwing up. But because I didn't eat all Friday, there was really nothing for me to throw up. So I'm just gagging, throwing up, and nothing's coming out. Chris is like, oh, you know, like, you need to eat. Like, you're gonna keep throwing up if you're not eating. But I couldn't eat. I couldn't put anything in my mouth. The thought of eating literally made me want to gag. Whatever. So at this point now, it's probably like the evening, and he's still dealing with Court. And now at this point, Court's sick, and I know she's being very fussy. So it was just making me feel bad. I was having like hella mom guilt. This brings like some pizza, because I told him, like, I know this is a weird theory, but like pizza slices are thin, so I thought like, just bring me a slice of pizza, like maybe I can find a way to put it in my mouth and like force myself to get something in. So he brings me pizza, and that didn't work. It still didn't fucking work. Like, I just didn't want food. Food was just So now it's like day 2, not eating, and at this point now I was getting really nervous. So this is when I put my first post up on Instagram, like what I was going through, and I didn't know what I was going through because it was still not yet my doctor's appointment. So I posted on Instagram like what I was going through. I wrote a long paragraph about everything, and so many people reached out. So many people were commenting that it's like normal and everything they go through. A lot of people were saying that it was the full moon, which that's just creepy alone, that it's a full moon, and like that some people were feeling the same way from the moon. Like, it's just crazy. But anyways, so it was just really comforting, and I feel like that helped me a little bit, knowing that like a lot of people go through this and this is normal. Even though I didn't know what the fuck I was going through, I was just like, all right, well, clearly this is normal. A lot of people are making me feel normal, so cool. And also then I was starting to think like, damn, like I really wish people talk about this, because then I wouldn't have been as confused when it first started happening. You know, fast forward to me making this video. And then so that was making me feel a little comforting, but again, I couldn't really sleep through the night. I mean, also too, when you're going through stuff like that, your mind is always racing. So I think my mind was just multiplied at that point. So anyways, now it's Sunday. I wake up again, the routine, throwing up, uncomfortable. I didn't take my B12 at that time because I felt like since I woke up not fine, that the B12 didn't do anything Saturday. That was just my theory on it. But take your B12, it does change your life. Sunday was also, you know, spent in bed, you know, popping out in and out whenever I had time to, or when I had the energy to. Like, I would pop out and like see Courtney and Chris, but other than that, like they were just, you know, with each other all weekend. I know this doesn't sound like as crazy, and I know it just sounds like a long weekend, but that feeling and like those feelings were so indescribable and terrifying. And also, like, when someone asks you what's wrong and you don't think anything is wrong, and I say think because I feel like surface thoughts and surface anything life, you think, okay, everything's fine, like I'm healthy, I have money, I'm working, like, you know, I'm doing a lot of things, and you're like, nothing's wrong, like if anything, everything's great. But it's all in your mind. And I feel like because I do smoke, that I'm so used to being numb to a lot of things, and being numb to a lot of things can like push a lot of things back in your brain to like, I don't know, like the closet that you just keep cluttered, you know. And I just feel like maybe I just had so many things like in my mind that I just like suppress, that that I don't know, maybe yeah, that I don't know, like maybe the door just couldn't close that time, you know. And I saw a lot of memes, you know, not memes you always think is a joke, but sometimes there's very relatable memes, and a lot of memes, you know, was saying like if you don't take a break, your body will like take a break for you. And I did start to feel like that was what that was. But anyways, finally comes Monday, and you know, I'm honestly terrified of like going outside alone. I didn't even drive to the doctor's because I just didn't want to. I was scared, and I was just scared that like I was gonna be alone without Chris, without Courtney, and I knew I couldn't take Courtney because I could just barely handle the thought of leaving the house, let alone leave the house with Courtney. I knew I couldn't do that. So anyways, I took a cab, and I started to feel a little better just by being outside. It was a very like sunny, bright day, so I feel like that helped. And also during the time before my appointment, my friend Sean put me on to a really good album. It's very therapeutic, and it really helped me a lot. And I feel like because of that album, which I'll link it in the description, it really helped me get through the weekend and feel safe. Also, I was taking more baths, and baths was making me feel comfortable as well. So we're at my doctor's appointment, and of course once I see her, I tell her everything. The way I was feeling, she prescribed me some anxiety medication, and we did a lot. We did blood work, we did urine, they did it's something where they put all those stickers on your body and like monitor your breathing and your heart rate. Oh, an EKG. She did an EKG, a urine test, and blood work, and I wasn't gonna be able to like get my results till the week after, so that was a little nerve-wracking. But until the week, she prescribed to me the anxiety medication, which was helping a little bit, but the only thing was my sleeping. But at this point I felt like I wasn't sleeping because I was scared to be asleep, because all the times that I was going through these feelings was at night, or they would happen right before bed. So because of that, I was just so nervous on sleeping. Anxiety medication definitely got me through the day. And yeah, she told me just to stop the weed and like to stop the CBD up until we get my results. Fast forward to that next Monday where we get the results, she told me that my vitamin D was super low. They didn't find anything in my urine, they didn't find anything in my blood work, everything was pretty much fine. She did say that I had a very like oily liver or something like that, which I guess I should have told her at that time that I don't eat meat and a lot of things I eat are in oil. But she was just concerned about that because it had came up as though I had like a lot of oil that weekend, or drink or had like a lot of alcohol. So it came up like I had that all weekend, which I wasn't, because I was throwing up and not eating that whole weekend. So for it to come up really high, she was just very concerned. And then she put me on a diet, which we all needed anyways. Not we all, me. I needed to go on a diet anyways. So she put me on a diet, and we made a follow-up appointment for 3 months. So obviously for 3 months, I'm going to be eating better. I'm going to be taking more care of myself. And she did tell me that, you know, with anxiety and everything, like, and panic attacks, that it's all mental. So as much as she can give me anxiety medication, everything else is up to me. So, you know, I have to be in full control of that. I am in control of my mind. I have to be in control of my body. I have to be present, and I have to be aware, and I have to be very here, you know. Which, don't get me wrong, like that whole experience humbled me. I still have moments here and there. As of right now, like my last like panic attack was at the event, and at first I thought I had social anxiety because I'm like, why would I just get it out of nowhere? And but I do feel like, I don't know, it just probably was just still something I had no control over at that time. I feel like very in control of it now. Whenever I have moments that I like feel it coming on or it's about to happen, like I kind of know how to control it from getting worse, and it kind of goes away. But as of right now, like my sleeping, I have been good without any of the ZzzQuil, because I was taking ZzzQuil every night because I just couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't relax myself to put myself to sleep, you know, because one, aside from the fact that like I was just scared to go to sleep, two, I am so used to smoking before bed. So when you smoke before bed, you don't really need to like think about putting yourself to sleep. You just pass out. So I was so used to that. That's what I was doing every night. So because I was on a little break from that, I was taking ZzzQuil every night. But I'm the type of person, I don't know if you guys are, I'm very like weird with pills. I don't like pills. When I'm on my period, I try not to take Advil because I don't know why. I never had a bad experience with any medication, but I guess just the thought of like taking pills to fix something always just drives me like crazy. I don't know, I just, maybe that could be like the hippie in me, or maybe because I do believe in cannabis to be medicine, that I'm already for those type of ways to feel better and not necessarily a pill where, I don't know, you just can't really trust these fucking pills. I feel more control. I'm still learning. The things that have been helping me is every morning I wake up and I take 1B12. I don't rely on ZzzQuil anymore. I have been rubbing lavender oil on my wrists, temples, and on my chest. I do that before bed. I also been rubbing lavender oil on Courtney, and since I've been doing that on both of us before bed, we both sleep like so long now. During the time before I went back to smoking, I was researching a lot, like so much on everything, because you know, I was kind of sad thinking like, oh my god, like am I gonna have to tell all these brands that, you know, I can't work with them anymore? Like am I gonna have to quit? Like I wanted to start my Instagram, you know, being the weedfluencer for many reasons. So during the times where I didn't know if I could go back, I was just sad. I was so sad because I was just like, no way. Like I finally found an outlet that I love. I found a way to show people that it's not that, and I wanted to continue that. So I was just very, you know, overthinking and sad and thinking that like my whole career that I've been planning in my head was just gonna like fucking go to pieces, and I was just like, no way, like this can't be it. So my friend Rachel in Geneva actually put me onto a book called A Woman's Guide to Cannabis: Using Marijuana to Feel Better, Look Better, Sleep Better, and Live Better. I'm not fully done with it, but since reading the book, I have learned so much. I've learned that there's certain strains that cause anxiety and there's certain strains that help. So learning that, I have been very picky on the strains that I do smoke. I have been very picky on of each. Okay, so long story short, sativas, if you have anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all that, sativas is not for you. Indica is the way to go, which I've always loved an indica. The reason why I even started smoking was because when I first had an indica, I loved that strain. Like it helped me even before I knew I needed help. Does that make sense? Also, if you do smoke a hybrid, and let's say you're going through what I'm going through, whenever there is a hybrid strain that I do want to smoke, I do make sure that it's more of an indica dominant than it is a sativa. So definitely do your research, and the perfect apps for that is Leafly and Weed Maps. But Leafly has updated, and I really like the way they show the breakdown of each strain, so definitely do that. I switched to someone who only sells, you know, strains that are from LA, so they're from dispensaries and they're more what do you call that, safer. I'm sorry if this video was all over the place. All these items that I've used and the book and all this, I would link everything below if you're interested on trying any of them. But I'm really excited that I put this video out there. I really do hope that it helps someone. I hope that, you know, you guys try some of the things that have been helping me, and I hope it helps you. And if you have your recommendations for me, like please leave them in the comments. I'm so down to try anything natural and anything that is willing to help, and if it helps you, then I'm really down to try. That is my update, and as of right now, I'm feeling good. I've been very organized with my life. I have been writing everything down. I don't know, I guess I guess when you get older, things just become a little bit more difficult, and I guess I'm just in denial of my age. I'm only 28, but I don't know, I've been through some shit. Aside from that, I really do wish like it was something everyone talked about, because I feel like we all need to talk about these things, and we all need to share our stories and our experiences and the things that help us heal, because like that's how I learned, that's how I've been healing, you know. Like not all of these things are from my doctor, they're from friends, clients, you know, like so we all heal differently, and I feel like if we all talk about it, we'll all learn how to heal in more ways than one. But as of right now, I feel good. I feel good. Like now I'm finally getting myself back together at the end of November, and that's a long time, but you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And yeah, I hope some of these things help you guys feel good. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, stay positive.